All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Yahawah been the true name of the Heavenly Father. YAHAWASHI been the true name of His only begotten Son. Also want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations unto the elect of Yasha, as well as the Akim out there enduring His truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and preaching through the Spirit of Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations, but are of the nation of Israel on your father's side by blood. And just getting to a lesson. We got the Passover coming up next week, so we're going over Exodus, and just getting into the part where Moses, being introduced to the Lord, and the Lord showing him the wonders and showing him the signs. All right. And Salaki, I'm a little under weather, so you might hear some sneezing, some nose blowing, some sniffling. All right. But even from the point of the burning bush, Moses was amazed. He like, look, I gotta go see what this is about. I see it burning, but I don't see it being consumed. As he says in Exodus 3:3, it says, and Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sign why the bush is not burnt. Because this is the Lord, showing that power, showing what He's capable of. All right. It had to have been a great sign because as in the sense of something He's never seen before. Okay. And also, when you go down to verse 20, Exodus 3:20, I'll go up to 19. It says, and I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go, no, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. So the Lord's already telling them some of the things I show you. I don't think He's going to just let you go. And rightfully so, because the pride that's within them. And even on top of that, the hardening of the heart, which the Lord had put within the Pharaoh. And He's doing the same unto who? Mr. Esau, Edom. All right. It doesn't make any sense to let us go or tell us who we are if He has His foot upon our neck as a nation. I want to look into that word wonder, because He said, Exodus 3:20, and I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. All right. Get into that word wonders. It's the Hebrew word pala or pala'ah. It says to be marvelous, be wonderful, be surpassing, be extraordinary, separate by distinguishing action. And that's the part that stood out most about it, is the separate by distinguishing action. Now, I've only read in the first 6 chapters, so I haven't got to the part where Moses cast down his rod and it became a serpent in front of Pharaoh. And Janus and Jambres, Janus and Jambres, they pretty much was the magistrates for Pharaoh. So when you read on, they did what Moses did pretty much. But the difference in that, all right, the distinguishing factor within that was that Moses' serpent consumed the other 2 serpents. All right. But also within the definition, it says to be beyond one's power, be difficult to do, to be difficult to understand. Because a lot of things that the Lord is going to show, even a lot of things that the Lord has done. All right. Because what we're going to do is also get 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, where it speaks about plain wonders and works, But a lot of things what the Lord have been done. And really, that comes from the ignorance that's within society. We wasn't raised and taught about Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Therefore, a lot of the things that have been done and will be done to our people, that have been done and will be done to our people, makes it seem unbelievable. All right, like I said, difficult to understand. When we speak to people and we're telling them that the chariots, the so-called UFOs or UAPs that they're seeing on camera and things like these are the actual angels that's coming to save us through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, they might not can receive that because all their life they've been fed that these are aliens coming to take us over, coming to dang, what's the word? I cannot think of the word that they always use in those movies, but pretty much coming to take us out, take over the planet or whatever the case is. All right, but all in all, the Lord, this is the power of the Lord, and this is the salvation of the Lord at that. Now I have to get it. It's only right that I get Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right. Now, when I used to always believe in them, period. So when I found out that the UFOs is the angels, I'm like, oh man, even better, that they are real. Okay, cool. But this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. Speaking about the prophets in the minute of the Lord, showing Esau through the spirit of YAHAWASHI that this kingdom is going down. That's standing before their face. We're calling them out on their BS. We're calling them out on history. We're calling them out on their present, and letting them know what they've done and what they're doing and what's going to happen to them in the near future for what, their works and for their wicked works at that. But verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for, because our people in the church community wasn't taught about the chariots. They wasn't taught how the Lord is coming back. I can't even remember how they explain about the Lord coming back. Honestly, if there was any detailed in the salvation, but it leads them to use their imagination. But I'm sure that none of them is thinking about the chariot showing up, because they was told that those is the enemy, pretty much. All right, that those is aliens coming to take over, man. And then they put out all they little movies, all right, to solidify those thoughts into our people's heads, man. Got all kind of stuff. I got Kleenex, hand sanitizers, crazy over here, but it's all good. So the Lord is going to show his power, man. All right. Now I want to jump to okay, we'll wait. I'm gonna jump to Exodus, the 4th chapter and the 6th verse. Because earlier in this chapter, the Lord showed Moses his power by having the rod cast, and having the rod. He told him to cast a rod upon the ground, and it turned into a serpent. And then he told him to grab the tail of the serpent, and then it turned back into a rod. And this is another thing that he did. All right, when you go to verse 6, Exodus 4 and 6, and the Lord said, furthermore, unto him, put down thy hand in thy bosom. And he put his hand in his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of the bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these 2 signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. which was one of the signs that he did show. And you see, you've seen throughout the years that some of these waters have become red. He's as blood, you know. I don't know if all of them actually have. I believe one. Don't quote me on it. But it is. But in this sense, it's Moses being sent, saying, to the children, like, hey, they don't believe this sign, then we'll do another sign. And then all in all, the Lord was just showing his power and showing his might, as we read in the definition of wonders, the distinguishing of it. Okay, Esau might have his planes and his jets, but the Lord showed what? His power, his distinguishing power by having the chariots. They can't catch them. They can't follow them. They can't see them unless the chariots want to be seen. All right, they don't have jets that can go into the water and come back out of the water and continue at the same speed. They wrote the documents on how the chariots be moving. They're telling you right there that they can that they don't even, that basically the technology that the chariots have is out of this world. All right, that's pretty much what was said. So jumping over to verse 21 in chapter 4, it says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thy hand, but I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go." So he told him to to be ready to pretty much, do those wonders in front of Pharaoh, because what he was doing is showing his power. It's the same as the Lord doing with having these chariots show up. Well, eventually men are going to be doing miracles, just like you read in the scriptures, man. When they was healing people and casting out spirits, all right, the spiritual power is real, okay, and it's gonna come to some men, all right. I don't know if every man would get it. Some men would get it. Most men would get it. However, whatever. But nonetheless, the Lord will show his power through men, okay. You also got Leviathan. That's part of the Lord's power. If you create a creature that only you can destroy, shit, that's power. So that's what's going to happen within these last days, man, because it's let me just get it. It's in 2 Ezra 9 and 8. It says, Salakia, 2 Ezra 9 and 6. I'll go to 5. It says, "For like as all as that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders, and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs." So the Lord is going to show his power once again unto Egypt, because this is modern day Egypt. This is the place where we was sold under bondage, where we served out rigorous works, where we was hated. And the more they hated us, the more we grew and multiplied. Same things that was happening to us in the old Egypt is happening to us in this Egypt, man. All right. But in the Lord is what? Going to send powerful works and wonders and signs, man. Okay. They've been having all type of things up in the sky looking like portals and wormholes and things. Okay. Now, some of it might be Esau, honestly. Some of it might be Esau, but when the Lord show his power, he's gonna really show out. A lot of these things show up at nighttime. When these chariots, they start catching these sightings of the chariots during the day, and it's not just at night looking like an orb or a light or something. Oh, that's gonna change the game, man. And it's soon to come. Okay. It says, verse 7, "And everyone that," I'm going to read 6 again, "even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs." Okay, because this is the Lord's movie. Some movies do start out with all the action, but most of the time the action is towards the end of the movie. That's where the main scene happened. You know, the final scene, you get all the good, juices flowing in you. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, because that's what it's going to come down to. All right. Do you believe in YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, or did you trust in the shadows of Egypt? Verse 8 shall be preserved from the said perils. All right. Death, famine. All right. Pestilences. All right. Destruction, the nukes. Martial law. Jacob, be protected in Jacob's trouble, man. All right, the atrocities and calamities is going to befall upon our people, as well as the other nations that are around as well. All right, it's not like how they say Bill Gates and is creating certain crops that can target genetics. You know, no, this is just how the Lord is judging the earth. You know, and Jacob is called Jacob's trouble because shit, our people lost their damn mind, man. They don't know how to really do nothing and survive for the most part. Okay, but they don't trust in YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, so 2/3 of them it's gonna hurt. 2/3 of them gonna get hurt. All right. It says, verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. And that's what it is. The Lord has already chosen the ones who he was going to save and give salvation unto since the beginning. Our job is to give our diligence to make our calling and election sure. You know, that if it be of his will, we be part of that election. All right. We don't know. But when we left out of that Egypt, everybody made it. But guess what? Only 2 people from that Egypt made it into the promised land. All right. When we leave out of this Egypt, all of our nation won't receive that salvation because the Lord has his elect. He has his remnant that he's already chosen, Salakia, and sanctified from the beginning. Okay, the Lord already got all of it, everything that happened unto our nation and is happening to our nation and that's going to happen to our nation is already written. It's already written. It just has to play out through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man. So, yeah, just be prepared. You know, the Lord going to show out. He's going to show his power. All right. He's, I forget that precept, but it pretty much states that they're going to know that it was the Most High that did these things, man. All right. Like I just seen an article about a guy and his 5-year-old daughter that, got deleted, from a drive-by or whatever. And it's like, this is judgment time. This is the Lord doing, he's doing what he's doing. All right. Yeah. So, hey, with that, Lord willing, you was edified. Lord willing, we allowed to endure to the end. Got the Passover coming up. Also on the Passover is one of those signs in the heavens that the Lord talked about. It's supposed to be a blood moon. Okay. Not a blood moon, a lunar eclipse, which they call a blood moon. Okay. So who knows, man? The Lord can have something happen that day. All right, but hey, this is all the Lord's. We just know what he's going to do. He knows when he's going to do it. All right, so Lord willing, we can continue and make it into the end. Hey, once again, I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, Shalom.